What's up guys, I got a brand new video for you today, and today, I can't remember what I was supposed to talk about. Today we're gonna take a look at the autofocus system on the A7IV because it can be a bit confusing. So I wanna run through how I have it set for taking portraits and some different scenarios and why you would use different modes. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, so right now we're in wide, and basically wide is just the entire coverage of the whole sensor. So all you're gonna see is anything that's in focus closest to the camera. So the camera's gonna choose anything that's the closest. Right now I have face detection turned off, so it doesn't really matter what I focus on, it's just gonna be in focus. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on face detection. And it's gonna be face and eyes. So right now when I half press the shutter, you can see it's locked onto Clarissa's eyes. So you can kind of move around the frame, like walk forward and backwards, walk towards the camera actually, it'll show it tracking, and you can back up. But the only problem with this mode is if you have more than one person in the frame, or you have like an object in front of the camera, it's gonna actually focus on that first. So Milos, if you jump into frame here, you'll see that it's locked onto her face right now, but right as soon as he walks into frame, it's gonna select him instead. So if you don't want that, you have to switch to a different mode. Zone is kind of the same thing, except for it's just like a center section of the autofocus points, and you can actually move the zone around with the joystick if you want to. It's gonna do the exact same thing. If he jumped into frame, it's gonna select his face outside of her face. So this is the mode I don't typically use. So the main mode I use is flexible spot, and you have a few different options here. You have small, medium, or large, and that's basically just the size of the focus box. So when it's set to large, it's that big, and when you set it to medium, it's that size. And then I keep it on small, because that way I can be a little bit more precise of where I want to focus, so it's a little bit more precision. So I can be on her face for that, or we can go to the background. You can move the joystick here and move the focus point around. So it's pretty handy if you're just trying to frame up your shot. You don't have to really change your composition, you can just move the focus point. The reason why I made this video in the beginning the first time is because I saw a wedding photographer complain about them walking down the aisle, and they were mad because they were like, I thought Sony's autofocus system is supposed to be so advanced, eye detection. But the problem is, it's going to focus on the most obvious eye in frame. So if someone was closer, like Uncle Bob was looking back at the camera, right? It's gonna go off of her to him, and you're gonna lose the shot, right? So the main reason why I use single point is if the eye detection wasn't actually working, I can let off the eye detection and go to the center point. So at least I know whatever's in my selection is gonna be in focus. So that's the main reason why I have it set to this mode. The nice thing is the flexible center spot is just gonna focus on the eye that's in that area. So I can choose which eye I want it to go to. Obviously it's seeing two faces, you can see the two boxes there. But because I can choose it with the joystick, it's a lot more easier to set up. So in a scenario where you do have more than one person, this makes the most sense. But what I like to do is I actually keep face detection turned off, and I have eye detection and face detection mapped to the AF on button. That way I can toggle it on whenever I need it. Yeah, right now it lost your eye, but if you went back to the side again, I can still keep focus on my main flexible spot. So you can still take our shot there and get the shot. So to custom map the IAF to the AF on button, you're gonna have to go to the yellow toolbox and down to the third option, and then custom key set for photo. Then on rear one options, go down to the AF on button and find the IAF and set that as the main control. I already have mine set, but you're gonna have to select it in the purple AF settings. And on rear two options, I actually have the bottom button on the wheel set to change left or right eye selection depending on what I'm shooting. And what's also awesome with the newer Sony AF system is that you have control over tracking sensitivity. So I have mine set to 4. I kind of feel like that's the sweet spot, but if you want to adjust the sensitivity, you actually have that ability. What I want to do here is, obviously when we're doing eye detection, we can take our photo here. So if you're looking into the camera and then look off and look off even more, it's still on your eye somehow. But if it were to lose your eye, like right there, it might not know where to focus. So I have the joystick to manually focus in that direction anyway. So the nice thing is, like, I can always override where the eye detection is, even if it's not seeing the eye. So keep turning even more. Yeah, so right there it lost your eye, but I can still select it. And then if you turn back around to the camera, I'm still triggering it down here, we can go back to the eye. So yeah, that's just kind of why I have it set up that way. That way I know I'm never gonna miss the eye. Now the last option is tracking, and this is a newer feature in the last couple of years that Sony's implemented, but you now have tracking options for all the focus areas. So I usually just use the small spot, I think that works the best. What's pretty cool is you can also do touch tracking with the touchscreen. It'll actually lock onto the area you're selected, and it'll continuously track that in frame until you cancel it. All right, so I'm gonna put it into tracking. That's set to wide. So it's just gonna follow, so you can move around in the frame there. You can spin. So it's just gonna track everything there as you walk towards the camera. You can spin again just so it shows the back of your head. Yeah, so stop there. Oh, I have face detection on. So if I turn face detection off, this is actually a better example of it. So now it'll lock onto your face here when you walk towards the camera. Yeah. Yeah. And the cool thing is I can now trigger it manually with eye detection. So I can override, because now I can go from your eye back to you, and then you can move in frame. If I want to, I could select anything really, like the back of your shirt, like just tiger or whatever, and the back to your eye. But tracking is really cool because you can go behind things too, and try and hide behind the flowers a little more. So see, it's gonna try and stay on that subject, so pop back in. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's still selected on your shoulder because it knew that it's using AI or something to select that kind of stuff, but that's just kind of how tracking's working. It's pretty good. Obviously the Atomos Ninja ran out of space, so we had to record the back of the screen, but thanks for watching this video. Hopefully this helped you out kind of understand the autofocus system a little bit better. That's just how I use it, especially if we're taking portraits. Maybe it makes sense to you as well, but thanks for watching this video. Thanks to Clarissa and Milos from behind the camera there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give it a thumbs down twice. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. See you guys in another video.